y'all, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new, welcome. Today I just wanted to sit down and answer a bunch of questions that I've been getting about transferring. As you probably already know, I'm transferring to New York. I'm going to be a New York based flight attendant in December. This is something that I've talked about, that I've thought about for months and months, and I finally did it. I finally requested the transfer and I'm officially leaving DFW. So I've been getting lots of questions, comments, and concerns. So today I just wanted to sit down and answer all those questions that I've been getting. So I hope that I got to everybody's questions, and I hope that these answers kind of clear the air, because I know a lot of y'all think I'm crazy. Everything that I'm using I'll link in the description box below in the order that I've used them. The Sephora sale is coming up in a few weeks, so if you're interested in any recommendations in shopping for the Sephora sale, I'm gonna recommend just a few things while I'm getting ready. And this is the first thing that I'm recommending. I've been loving this product for years and years. The Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter. I always say this is my longest relationship because I've been using this product for so long. It just gives your skin the best glow under your foundation. I love it. You can also use it on its own as a skin tint, but I like to use it under foundation. So the first question I've been getting is, am I moving? And no, I'm not moving. I'm gonna be living right here in DFW and commuting from here to New York every time I have to go to work. A lot of people are wondering if I'm gonna get a crash pad, and no, I don't plan on getting a crash pad. I'm planning on just bidding for commutable trips, so I can fly in the day that a trip starts, and then after the trip's over, just fly back home. It's easier said than done for sure, but that is the plan. I mean, worst case scenario, I'll have to get a hotel, but no, I don't plan on getting a crash pad. Another Sephora sale recommendation is the House Labs foundation. This is my absolute favorite foundation. Really good coverage. The finish is so beautiful and skin-like. This is definitely my go-to if I have an event or something, and it lasts all day. And it is expensive, so I would only recommend buying it during the sale. I feel like I answered this question in my last Q&A video, but I do get asked this all the time because a lot of people at my seniority, they'll pick up international trips on their days off. It's definitely something that I could do. So a lot of people ask, why don't I pick up international trips? And I think that whenever I say I want better trips, I think people assume that that's what I'm talking about. And that's not really what I'm talking about whenever I say that I want to work better trips. I will say picking up trips like that, it's a lot of work to move your trips around, and like to sit there and refresh and wait for an international trip to drop. I just don't really care to do that. Obviously, I have worked international trips before. That's definitely something that I was really interested in doing when I first started, but I don't know, the last few years I just haven't really cared to pick up trips like that. And I just kind of feel like my time will come when it comes to working trips like that. Right now I just kind of feel like I want to work the trips that I can hold. If I could hold a schedule full of trips to Paris, I would definitely do that, but that is not realistic at all. I also get asked all the time, what about Boston? What about DC? What about Philly? What about just every other base? I will say I definitely was considering Philly. I was between New York and Philly. I was going back and forth between the two, kind of weighing my pros and cons. So Philly is another place that I would consider. If I don't like New York, I could definitely end up going to Philly. But really just any of the other bases that I can think of, I've not heard anything that makes me want to be based there. Definitely don't want to be based in Chicago. Definitely don't want to be based in Boston. I don't really have any desire to be based in DC. I would be based in Charlotte again, but I'd have to be pretty senior to want to do that again. LA isn't an option. Phoenix, absolutely not. I'm trying to think, where else? I would definitely consider Miami, but I wouldn't commute there either. I really just wanted to be based somewhere where I have better seniority, where I can hold better trips, fewer hours. So right now, New York and Philly are the only places that I would consider transferring to and commuting. Maybe someday we'll move to Florida or we'll move to North Carolina and I'll be based in Miami or Charlotte. Who knows? Am I concerned about losing money? No, not really. I think they just mean losing money on food, hotels, whatever. I usually bring my own food, and I plan on doing that while I'm commuting too. Maybe I'll bring my food a little bit less, but we'll just wait and see, I guess. I do think that I'm gonna be able to hold commutable trips out of New York, so I don't think that I'll have to stay in hotels very often, but I mean, maybe every now and then. A lot of y'all know I'm kind of a homebody. I like to be home. So a lot of people have asked, aren't you gonna be away from home more? And to be honest, like, we'll just have to wait and see, but I don't think I'm gonna be away from home more. I think in New York, I will be able to hold fewer hours, so I won't have to work as many trips, but that's something that we'll just have to wait and see. It's definitely possible that I'll be away from home more if I end up working as much in New York as I'm working here in Dallas. Also forgot to mention the Huda Beauty powder. This is another Sephora recommendation. This and the L'Oreal Blurfection. Those are my two favorite powders. This one you get a lot more product though. Some people have asked, what if I get Reserve in New York? That would really not be fun. One of the main reasons that I'm leaving Dallas is to hold off Reserve, and since New York is very junior, I don't think that I'm gonna have to do Reserve in New York. A lot of people have said you don't have to worry about being on reserve at my seniority in New York. But never say never. That would definitely be a bummer to have to commute on reserve. I mean, that is the worst. Commuting on reserve is the worst. But we will just have to cross that bridge if we ever get there. Casey, you're gonna hate commuting because you like working turns in 2 days. Yeah, when I start commuting, I will definitely not be working turns. Maybe I'd work 2 days, I don't know, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I definitely will not be working turns once I start commuting. And the thing is, if I could hold turns here in Dallas, if I had a whole schedule of turns, I would not be leaving. I would stay here, but I can't. I have been working with people who have like 12, 13 years of seniority here in Dallas. Sometimes just whenever I pick up turns, like the people that I'm working with, they actually hold those turns and they have like 12 or 13 years. So that almost kind of gives me a little bit of hope that maybe someday, that in a few years, maybe here in Dallas, I would be able to hold that. But who knows if we'll even live here anymore at that point, I don't know. But yes, I do like to be home. I like working turns. But now that I'm commuting, I will not be working turns. Another Sephora recommendation, by the way, is this Kosas blush. This is the shade Blissed. This is my favorite blush ever. I love a glowy pink cheek, and it has like a blurring effect on the cheeks. I think it's really pretty. Am I scared I won't make it back to Dallas? At this point, no. That's just not something that I'm worried about right now. That is something that I was worried about, and one of the reasons that I waited so long to put in a transfer. And now I regret that. Now I regret not putting in a transfer request sooner because I'm so excited about this. And even if I end up hating it, even if I hate being based in New York, if this all just blows up in my face, I'll try to come back to Dallas. And Dallas is just such a big base that I feel like if I wanted to come back here, there would probably pretty quickly be a spot open for me. But at this point, if I don't like New York, I'll go to Philly. I could absolutely eat those words and, you know, only be in New York for a few months and then just want to come back to Dallas. I could hate the commute. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I could miss it here. I don't see that happening, but it is possible. And I could end up just wanting to come back to Dallas. But at this point, I do think that I would transfer to Philly from New York. If I don't like New York, I would go to Philly before I would just come back here. Do your time, pay your dues, and earn your seniority through hard work, leadership, and patience. This isn't a question, but the answer is no. No, I'm just kidding. Just because I'm transferring doesn't mean that I'm not doing my time, paying my dues, earning my seniority. Like yes, I definitely want to be based somewhere where my seniority is better. Dallas is a very senior base. And over the last few years, I feel like while I thought I was gaining seniority, I feel like my seniority actually got worse because just it feels like a lot of people senior to me have transferred here. It could just be that the trips have gotten worse here too, but I definitely feel like my schedule was better a few years ago than it is now. I definitely am looking for a better quality of life. I definitely want to be able to work less. And I know that that sounds crazy to a lot of people because commuting usually does not equal a better quality of life. And we'll see, that could be the case for me too. But I do just want to be able to have more control over my schedule, have better seniority, be able to work less, get less hours put on my schedule every single month. And that is advice that I would give to any new hire flight attendant. If you can be based somewhere that's junior, where you could maybe not be on reserve every single month, there are thousands and thousands of flight attendants and no two are the same. Something that works for me is not going to work for somebody else. And that is the beauty of this job. There are just so many different ways to make the job work for you. I always get comments about our hours because people don't understand how our hours work. So if I say I work 70 to 80 hours a month, people are like, oh my gosh, you don't work at all. I work 40 hours a week. Not like this. Not like this, you don't. The way that our schedule works, we get paid for 5 hours a day. So that could be like a 10 or 12 hour duty day, but you're gonna get paid 5 hours unless you're working a flight longer than 5 hours. So usually a 2 day is worth 10 hours, a 3 day is worth 15 hours. That's just how it works. So I keep getting the question, you only work 80 hours a month and that's too much for you? But yes, 80 hours is a lot to me. I get asked this question all the time too. Do you even like your job? Would you be happier doing something else? I've also been using this Tartelette in Bloom palette for years. This is my favorite eyeshadow palette. Anytime I have eyeshadow on, it's probably this palette. So this is another Sephora sale recommendation if you are looking for an eyeshadow palette. Yes, I like my job. You know, I'm definitely not the kind of person who is gonna come on here and just act like my job is perfect. I definitely want to share, like, this is my real life. You know, you're watching my real life. I'm not an actress. I share my good days, my bad days, not my worst days. You know, like there are a lot of things in my life that I won't share on here, but I definitely have shared some pretty rough days, some rough trips, some bad work days, and I don't want to not do that. That doesn't mean that I want to quit. That doesn't mean that I hate my job, but I'm also not a workaholic. I'm never going to be somebody who lives to work instead of just works to live. So I think that sometimes people hear me talking about wanting to work less or drop trips things like that, and they think that I'm not happy with the job and I should just get a new job. But that's definitely not what I'm looking for. Like, I love having the option to be able to drop trips and have that flexibility and just work minimum of 40 hours if I want to work 40 hours. Like, it's great that we have that option. And getting older, getting married, and thinking about having a family and everything like that, that is something that I want to do. I want to be able to work less. Getting another job, going to another job, working 40 hours a week or something like that, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So yeah, I guess what I'm trying to say is just because I want to work less doesn't mean that I don't like the job that I have, and it doesn't mean that I should go and get another job. Yeah, I don't plan on ever getting another job. Are you going to change your bidding strategy? Yes, I will be changing my bidding strategy. I don't really know yet what I can realistically hold in New York, so I don't know, part of that we'll just have to wait and see. But you know what I plan on doing? I plan on bidding for DFW layovers. Oddly enough, I want to get out of here so I can get layovers here. I had a trip over the summer, y'all might have seen that video, where I got stuck in Dallas 2 nights in a row. It was a 3-day trip. We didn't make it to either of our layovers, so I got to come home and I was still getting paid for the trip, but I got to lay over at home. And I was like, wait a minute, this feels like a loophole. Like, if I transferred somewhere and commuted, I could get layovers here and I could get paid to come sleep in my own bed. So call me crazy, but I think I'll be looking for DFW layovers. Oh, rats. Do you see what I just did? Shoot. Oh, these are great questions. How does Josh feel? Josh is so happy for me. Josh is just so go with the flow. Whatever makes you happy. He is the most supportive person. I mean, he's just the best. When will Josh be done with flight school, and what's a general timeline for him to get a job at an airline? So if you didn't already know this, my husband is in flight school full-time. Before you can actually work for an airline, you have to get your hours. So a lot of people do that through instructing. So that's his plan. He wants to be an instructor. He'll have to be an instructor for probably like a few years. So it'll definitely be a few years before he actually gets to work for an airline. Oh, I gotta go clean this up. You know if more flight attendants commute or stay where they live? That's a good question, and I do not know. Do you get paid for the time it takes you to commute? Absolutely not. No, you definitely don't get paid for that. Do airlines provide you with accommodation in the city you are based if you don't live there? No. So you would have to either get a crash pad, sleep in the crew room. I mean, they have recliners for us in the crew room if that's what you mean. But do they give you a hotel or something just because you wanted to commute to work? No, they don't do that. If Josh's first job is at a base other than Dallas, would you consider moving? Yes. Or would you both commute to work? Well, both. We could both commute to work, or we could move, or one of us could commute. I mean, we'll just have to wait and see. I think that's all the questions. Oh, okay. I found more questions. Just kidding. I'm just wondering, with your transfer coming up, how do you still fly with Sydney? I won't. But we haven't flown together in so long. Sydney commutes now. She moved. She does not live here in Dallas anymore. So she lives with her parents in Kentucky, and she commutes here, and she stays right here in this room, sometimes in between her trips. We worked that one trip to Alaska together. So, I mean, we can work together. We just haven't really buddy bid in a long time. But yeah, we will not be able to buddy bid anymore now that I'm gonna be based in New York. But I tried to get her to come with me. I tried so hard, and she said no. So y'all try to convince her to come with me. But I understand she would have a really hard commuting to New York or Philly. That would be a really tough commute for her, much worse than me. So I definitely understand why she doesn't want to come with me. Some people have asked, since I'm going to New York now, will I try to get international trips? I'm not senior enough to hold international anywhere. Like I said earlier, like I just kind of feel like my time will come when it comes to working Europe, Hawaii, Asia, things like that. But yes, my seniority will be better. It's not gonna be that much better. I've also gotten a lot of questions about like the winter weather coming up and if I'm stressed about commuting during all that, and I probably will be. I'm not right now. Right now I'm just looking forward to it. But yeah, I mean, here in Dallas we have an annual winter ice freeze storm every single winter, and obviously New York in the Northeast, they have worse winter weather up there, so it could definitely be a problem with commuting. But I mean, there's a commuter policy that I'll have to actually read up on. I'll definitely bring y'all along for all of that. Last product that I wanted to mention is the Ole Henriksen lip balm. These are so good. My favorite one is the pink one, the strawberry one, but this one is also really good. They're just very hydrating on the lips. I use these constantly, especially when I'm working, but they are just the best lip balms. And this is another product that is not cheap, so I'd recommend picking it up during the sale. And I also used this lip liner, the Wherever Walnut shade from Makeup Forever. This is just such a good everyday nude shade. A lot of people have asked about just how stressful it is to commute. Yes, it's definitely stressful. Just making sure that you actually make it into work and make it home. It's definitely added stress to the job for sure. And maybe I am crazy. Like, this does feel a little crazy. I know what commuting is like. I've done it before. I've shed many tears in the airport because I didn't make my flight home after running across the Charlotte airport. But I don't know, I've just been so disappointed being based here. To be honest, Dallas just really has not been a great base to me. And I will say it till I'm blue in the face. I could hate it in New York and I'll transfer back, and it's really just not that big of a deal. So I think that is all the questions that I got about transferring. I'm really looking forward to it. I hope a lot of y'all are too. I know a lot of y'all definitely think I'm crazy, and that's okay. I know this is kind of crazy. But I've also had lots of people that have reached out to me and told me that they've done the same thing, that they're doing the same thing right now, and that they have a better quality of life and that it's so worth it. A lot of people commute for their entire careers and it's all they know. So I've gotten a lot of mixed reviews. A lot of people say that commuting is so worth it to hold off reserve, to hold a better schedule, and a lot of people say the opposite. This is not a one-size-fits-all job. There are so many different preferences, so many different trips, so many different ways to make the job work for you. So I'm so excited about this journey, and I can't wait to bring y'all along with me. So definitely subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, if you want to see what it is like for me to commute and be based in New York. If you have any advice other than just don't do it because it is too late, I've already got the transfer in. I'm locked in for December. I'm gonna be based there in December. So if you have any other advice about commuting or anything like that, definitely let me know. But thank you for watching this video. Thank you for leaving questions. I hope that y'all enjoyed it, and I'll see you in my next one.